Hi, and welcome to Create at Robin's House. I'm coming to you today to talk to you about a technique that was done in one of my Queen Bee cards with Robin. And the Queen Bee features the Queen Bee stamp set, and you can get it with the thin cuts or not with the thin cuts. It's up to you and how much you like fussy cutting. And then the kit would include these 4 cards. But I wanted to show you some techniques on this card because I think it's super cool. And so one of the main things is, because I believe in stamping, one of the first things that you're going to do, but in this card, there's a little technique you're going to need to do before you stamp in order to get those fun little boxes. So I'm going to take my trimmer, and my kit will come with, well, the kit will come already cut, but if you want to know how to cut it on your own, you would find a piece of cardstock that's about the size you want to use, and then when you go to trim it, I look at, so this cut is a little bit closer on this side, so I'll put it over here, and a little further on this side, so it should be a little bit uneven, and then slice it. And I'm just eyeballing it. If you want to do particular measurements, you can be a lot more strict about that. So on this one, this side is going to be a little lower on it and then a little higher. So when I put it in my trimmer, I want this side here is going to be down here, and this side here is going to be up there. And then I end up with a shape like that. And then now I have this side. So on this one, it's going to be a little longer on this side than this side. So I will lay it out like that. And then on this one, they're going to trim not very much and then quite a bit. And so you see you'll kind of get a different card every time, but that's the basics of how you set it up. Now truly, when you have a card that you cut like that, and then you bring it out to separate it, you're not going to be able to keep all of the seams even, because you only cut this one time and you cut this one twice. So you can see on this card, this line in the middle is kind of halfway between the line spacing here and the line spacings here. So you just need to lay it out for yourself of how you can make it fit square and still look nice. It still looks nice even though there's 3 different sizes of spacing there. And then, so the next thing I'm going to do is stamp these. So one of the things I need to do is cut my thin cut images, and one of those is this little bee guy. So when you stamp, you don't want to smush your stamp, bop it around so you get a little bit in all the edges, and then before you stamp, just make sure there's no ink on the edges. And I like to stand up when I'm stamping, so just like this view of the camera, you're looking straight down at it rather than at an angle, and that helps you line things up a little easier. And then so I went through and I stamped all of mine actually, but there's one technique in here that in this stamp set, all the little flowers are empty, but I wanted them to be full. So I'll take my marker and just carefully, like just drawing one line, because alcohol markers like to seep and they will find the edges of your ink, I believe. So I just kind of put enough in there to get it started, I guess. There we go. Now we have solid flowers. And then the next thing we need to do after we've got all of our stamping finished is sponging the edges and coloring. So I'm going to sponge my edges of this one, and I just bop, bop, bop in the ink pad, and then sponge around the edges. And then if you'll notice, the sample card has it in the middle too. So I'm going to carefully, just lightly, I don't want it to be even. And then I'm going to go around the edges again to make the edges a little bit darker and more set apart from the other colors. So you see I have that one. And then I also have this pink one I can do. And I do it the same way. And then I will quickly do the purple one and the green one and the yellow one. And now it's time for coloring. So I have my little bumblebee, which needs to have yellow. So I'll color him real fast and he'll have his yellow. Then I have my little other bug, and I'll color him. And one of the things that I did was I also stamped this heart on a spare page so that I could color and cut out this little heart to add later. But I wanted to show you I've lost the bow tie. I was going to show you coloring the bow tie and it's missing. Here it is. Okay, so those are all ready to go. The last thing to color is the bow tie. I think I used the medium color. So there's, same with the flowers. I don't color a lot. I kind of let the ink flow to the edges, and I try to have my pen on the paper as little as possible because I think it bleeds and finds its own way. And if you remember, we stamped all our images as soon as we could so that it would have a little time to rest before coloring. So this is just plain old coloring normal. Now with alcohol markers, one of the nice things about those is that you can add another, you can color again, I guess, if you want to say. Look, so I would color again on the edges and make them a deeper color. One of the other ways you can do is you can take color away. So this is the blending pen, but the blending pen can also act as a negative pen. If you put you can actually see it already. If you want to add a shadow or something, just take your pen. You can see that I added, by going over the color a second time, I added, not very well, but I did add shadow. And on here you can see that it took it away. So you can add either a glare from light or something. So there's two ways. You can make things darker or you can make things lighter. So those are pretty cool things with with blending pens. I'm gonna kind of match mine up a little bit. Okay, so now it's time to put your project onto the card base. And so I like to, just like I've kind of been doing, I like to lay my stuff out before I glue it down. So I lay out all my pieces how I want them. And even them up. And I try to eyeball it and see that I'm having some trouble here with my spacing because of what I talked about. So I gotta move things around a little bit. And then once you've moved everything and you're happy, then that's when you glue. So I start with one corner. And then move over. See, look how fast that came together. And then I just need to add all my guys. You can pop them or just glue them straight down. So now I have my heart. And my bow. My lightning bug. I think this guy's a lightning bug. Add some foam squares so that I have at least one thing on this card popped for added dimension. And there you go. There's a, well, he's flying a little crazy. I don't know what I was doing when I was stamping, but there you go. There is your card with a super cute technique that I hope you'll try. So thanks for playing with us today at Robin's house and have a great day.